Hey, good afternoon, guys. This is Tone Fernandez here, guys. Just a quick video today, guys. I want to talk about specifically going into happiness and being a happier person. I'm currently reading a book called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, and one of the chapters he specifically goes into happiness and his perspective on happiness he obtained through research and different things. So I wanted to share some tips with you that I got from this book. They're pretty powerful. I think that most people have the concept of happiness wrong or backwards. And I kind of shared it on my post earlier this morning, but I wanted to dive deeper into that because a lot of times when we think of happiness, we think of an event like I'm going to get a promotion or I'm going to buy this house or I'm going to marry this person. And what happens is we rely on happiness for those events. But happiness is not an occurrence, it's not an event, it's not achieving something. Happiness is done in your daily habits. Happiness is figuring out some happy habits that you can incorporate in your daily lifestyle that will make you a happier person. And when I realized that, I started to dissect me as a person, and I noticed that every time that I connected happiness to something happening, I really wasn't that happy. Even when it actually happened, I was like, But what actually the height of my happiness has always been when I stuck to a disciplined regimen of things that feed me. That fed my positivity. For example, one of my passions is working out. I noticed that when I work out consistently, I'm a happier person. The second thing is I love to read and pray. So I noticed that when I read and when I pray every day, that my mood is higher. I'm a happier person. I noticed that when I do things for others, that I'm always a happier person. So a lot of us, the reason why we're not happy is because we're connecting our happiness to an event, to a person, or to something exterior than from within. So in this book, the gentleman, his name is Jeff Olson. He did some research on happiness, and he happened to stumble across a guy named Shawn Achors. Shawn Achors was one of the leading guys to come up with this concept of happiness principles. Because prior to that, there was really no studies on happiness. People always thought that happiness was just something that happens due to your environment or due to an occurrence. So in this book, he shared 5 steps to become a happier person, 5 happy habits. So one of the things that he says, the number one is every morning write down 3 things that we're grateful for. For whatever reason, our brain tends to think of things that are bad in our life. As soon as we wake up, there's this anxiety, and we start to think, man, I don't have this, I don't have that. What ends up happening, that snowballs into the rest of your day. So imagine you're starting off your day with gratitude, thankful for the main things that you're happy for. Wake up in the morning, you write down, I'm thankful for my health, I'm thankful for being alive, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to master another day. So number 1 is write down 3 things that you're grateful for. Number 2 is journal for 2 minutes about a positive experience that you've had in the last 24 hours. This is like the opposite. Think about this. This is the opposite of what the news does. Because if you watch the news, which I highly recommend not to do, you'll see that there's countless and countless of negative stories, right? So that fills your brain and ends up messing with you. So in this habit here, what he says is write down just something that positive that happened with you in the last 24 hours so that you can be grateful for that situation. So that was another powerful one. Number 3, it's becoming more popular now. You see it's becoming more mainstream now, but meditate. Meditate can be a form of prayer. It can be a form of just clearing your head and kind of sitting still for a while, visualizing whatever you want and just letting your mind run. Sometimes when you do that, it allows you to kind of clear your mind so that you can focus on the next task at hand. You can focus on your day. From experience, I can tell you that meditation has worked wonders for me. When I started to meditate, it also helped me feel spiritually cleansed, and a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety was relieved through meditation. Number 4, at the start of every day, write a message to somebody thanking them. This is pretty powerful, and I've done this a few times. I will tell you, the reaction that you'll get from people is pretty phenomenal. Write an email to one person a day just thanking them for something. If somebody having a positive impact on your life, or somebody who's always been there for you, or just thanking somebody for being a part of your life. Sounds corny, I know, to some people, but imagine the impact that'll have on you, your happiness, if you do that daily. And then number 4 is pretty obvious. It's one of the most obvious. I just talked about it earlier myself because it's get 15 minutes of cardio a day. One of the reasons why a lot of people are depressed or are not happy is because how they feel, how their health is, or how their appearance is sometimes. But at least getting the ball rolling and starting a 15 minutes of cardio a day, not only will your endorphins start flowing, but you're just going to be a happier person just by starting to become a healthier person. So those were the 5 tips, 5 habits by Sean Anchors of becoming a happier person. Number 1, write down 3 things that you're grateful for. Number 2 is journal a positive experience you had in the last 24 hours. Number 3, meditate, pray. Number 4, at the start of every day, write a positive message thanking somebody. And then number 5 was get 15 minutes of cardio. I think that if you start to have a mind shift when it comes to happiness, if happiness is not tied to a specific event, specific money amount, or a specific occurrence, but happiness is things that I do daily, found in things that I do daily. What you will find is those things that you do want, the money goals and the health goals, will become a lot easier to achieve. You know, sometimes, and I put this on a post the other day, sometimes we have success backwards. We think that we need to be successful in order to be happy, but that's backwards. You need to be happy in order to be successful. So I wanted to share that philosophy that I've kind of already knew a little bit about, but dove into more detail in this book about, and I'm glad to share this information with you. So for those of you who are watching this video, I'll give some shout outs to those on here. Nancy, what's going on, Nancy? How are you? Luciano, definitely got to connect with you. George Lopez, what's up, brother? Perla Rodriguez, how are you, Perla? And Shawnee Baker and Rocky. So appreciate everybody who jumped on. For those of you watching this, if you found value in this message, feel free to like, share, comment, or tag somebody below. As always, your success is important to me, guys. And for those of you guys in the Chicagoland area, I'm going to be hosting a wealth event tomorrow, 4 steps to creating wealth. You're more than welcome to come out. It's a free event. Come, dress to impress, network a little bit, meet some awesome people, and learn the 4 steps to creating wealth. So I will see you guys out there. As always, your success is important to me, guys. Have an amazing night.